My name is Caitlin Haynes, and I'm going to talk to you about marbling and its effects on quality, along with consumer acceptance. So, we've all heard about marbling 1,000 times since starting our freshman year, and we've been told that it's one of the most important factors in having an enjoyable eating experience. And to this point, you probably don't want to hear me talk about marbling any more than I do. But if you'll just bear with me for a few minutes, it'll be over soon. So, what is marbling? Marbling, or intramuscular fat, are the white flecks or streaks inside the muscle of a meat animal. The major component of intramuscular fat is a triacylglycerol, but I'll call it a tag when we're talking for now. So that makes it an ester, which is made up of a glycerol, and you guessed it, 3 fatty acids. These are usually stored in the myofibers and adipocytes of muscle. As far as tags go, you'll probably want to know the 2 essential fatty acids that are in intramuscular fat, linolenic and alpha-linolenic. We see a higher proportion of both in pigs because they are monogastrics, or hindgut fermenters. Ruminants, like cows and sheep, degrade them down into monounsaturated and saturated fats by microbial bihydrogenation. You'll find these 2 fatty acids in high levels of concentrated feedstuff, which can greatly influence how an animal marbles, along with their genetics. So, to take cattle for an example, as far as feeding them, you can either send them to the feedlot, where they will be put on a high concentrate grain and fed out till they go to slaughter, or you can send them to be stockered on pasture before finishing them in the same feedlot. So these cattle coming out of the feedlots, we want to see marbling on the carcass, but we also desire a certain leanness. Our industry has pushed and pushed for leaner cattle, sometimes at the sacrifice of palatability for the consumer. This is not good. The consumers value how good their meat tastes. Another factor can be breeds or genetics. They play a big role as well. Let's take into account the Wagyu or Kobe beef, which are Japanese bred cattle that have high marbling and are very tender. Or we could take into account some French type cattle like the Charolais or the Chianina, that's Italian. The French value these cattle because of how lean they are. They don't hold a lot of carcass fat. Where us in the US, well, we love our good old Angus. Kind of a mix in between the two. You get marbling, you get a little bit of leanness, but it tastes really good. So, let's talk about what the consumer really wants. And I mean really, really wants. Do they honestly want a steak that looks like this one? Or do they want one that resembles this? I'll take the second one. Medium rare, please. But most consumers are scared of fat. They are terrified because a lot of media and talk shows have used scare tactics to say, oh, these aren't good. They have bad fats in them that are going to create coronary artery disease or give you a heart attack and stuff like that. Lies. All lies. What consumers really need to do is get educated. And that's kind of what this video is about. So overall, marbling is very important in every market of the world. I mean, it accounts for almost 15% of palatability traits. That's what we need. We need something that tastes good in our lives. So each culture and society seems to have different expectations, quality determinants, and methods of determining what is acceptable when it comes to marbling. We need to strive to produce cattle with more intramuscular fat while keeping the carcasses lean and feed efficiency and conversion at the utmost small ratio. The better the marbling becomes, that means happier consumers. And happier consumers means more money spent. So, I hope you enjoyed this and have an awesome rest of the semester.